And what we want to do with these minerals is basically to get more revenue and generate more resources for the country and the budget. Uh, you're looking at 4.5% for iron gold, other minerals are 3% gold royalty. And what we want to propose is to go to production sharing, where the country will be able to get more from its natural resources. We already have in the petroleum, hydrocarbon uh, contracts, production sharing. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to proceed with production sharing in the solid mineral of our nation.
Is this a new bill or what is it like where that
Well,
you
it's an
brought up?
amendment to the revenue code.
Okay.
I think it's 704 of the revenue code that we want to amend, but it requires that royalty for our mineral. Yes, um, it used to be then, but we are in modern times now, and so we need to look at our laws and see how we can amend our laws to maximize what we can get out of the resources of our country.
This brings me straight to Grand Bassa County, where you serve as senator. This revenue sharing amendment, how is this going to help, Grand Bassa with the number of companies that are there and Liberia at large, looking at, the benefits?
Well, anything under the earth or natural resources is owned by the people. And because it's owned by the people are going to benefit. We'll be able to make sure that drugs in the hospitals, teachers will get paid, nurses will get paid. We shouldn't be having volunteer teachers, volunteer nurses. We shouldn't be in public hospitals without drugs. We shouldn't be in public schools without um, material to teach. In addition to that, with the digital technology now, we should start to transition even our school system, our education system, uh, to digitalize it. Now, here's the problem. How do we do these things? Budget is tight, resources are not forthcoming, revenue shortfall. We need to grow the budget, and to grow the budget, we have to look at the different ways and means to which we can get our budget to beyond $2 billion, and I think we can do that if we just focus on our resources.
What's the simplest way you could explain this to the audience? Is it that every resources or revenue being raised, 30% goes to where the resources come from? Is that what we
Well,
can?
no,
Okay,
the 30% is for the nation.
okay,
Everybody should benefit from that 30%. It is not for Gbehzohngar, it's not for Bassa, it's not for Maserati. The 30% is for the nation. Each community will benefit because there are social benefits, corporate social benefits from these companies that are operating. So each community will benefit. In addition to that, this is revenue for the nation, nation wealth. Uh, so yeah, how it works. If you dig up 1 ton of gold, out of that 1 ton, you will take 700 kilos. We will take 300 kilos. Now, you digging it because you investing in it, you will be the off taker of our 300 kilos, but you will pay us for the 300 kilos. You will not take the whole 1 ton and you get 3 or 4.5, 3% royalty. Okay, now we are saying, okay, the royalty is fine, but no longer royalty. Let's go to something. Let me get a little bit more. Yes, you are a senior investor. You're putting your money in. You're putting your resources in, but you won't be able to make money without the gold. So what we're saying now, let's share it. Let's share it. We don't want dividend, and that's one of the other things. We're not saying we want 30% of your company. No, we're not interested in shareholding. We're not interested in being a member of your company. We're interested in basically production sharing. Period.
So now, when you the production sharing, that means 30% of the entire production they're going to do for the country. What is the country getting now from production
Well,
sharing?
it depends on the mineral.
Okay.
If it's iron ore and I think some other mineral, it's 4.5%. If it is gold and other mineral, it's 3% royalty.
Wow, and that is very, very little.
FOB price. Yeah.
Wow. Now, Senator, looking at this, someone might ask why you brought this up at this time.
Well, look, we're talking about growing the budget beyond $1 billion. We had roughly last budget was right around $800 million. The population have grown. We have all kinds of challenges, and we are looking for ways and means through which we can raise the revenue envelope. And so I'm suggesting that we increase the revenue from the mineral, solid mineral, or the mineral sector, the mining sector. Because one of the things that we must understand that the mineral is not cannot be regenerated. It's not like the agriculture sector that you plant the trees and then you cut it down after 40 years and replant. No, when it's done, it's done. It's gone, it's gone. So we have to be able to make enough money so that we can invest in other sectors for the future of our country. You know, as we mine the mineral, our great grandchildren will have nothing there for them. So we have to leave something for our great great grandchildren as we mine these minerals. The 4.5% is not enough because we're consuming it right now. Even with that, we still have challenges. With 30% production sharing, we can put out of that 30%, we can put 15% into escrow or future account, pension fund, invest it into some sort of fund that will secure the future of future generations for Liberians.
Now, people are saying to say it is not a thing, but the implementation is one of the key things. I'm not feeling like, how are you going to ensure that what you're saying, because it is very good for the people of Liberia, is going to benefit, that is going to work?
Well, Elton, the big issue there is I'm in the executive. The function that is given to I'm sorry, I'm in the legislature is up to the executive to execute these laws. It's the execution part of the law. The executive has a role to play. If we pass this bill, this amendment, the executive have to sign off on it, or the executive can veto it. And once that's the law. But if the executive agree to the amendment, then there's no issue of how it's going to be done. We expect whoever is elected president to execute the law.
Okay, you got the lobbying power as well. Are you using that, to also push this idea to make them understand the importance of this?
Well, we'll have the discussion because the amendment will come maybe in the next 2 3 weeks. We're working on the amendment. The lawyers are looking at the amendment as we speak. So hopefully in the next 2 3 weeks they will come up with some draft, and then we'll start to take it up with our colleagues.
Okay, but have you shared this with some of your colleagues, and what responses are you getting from them, looking at the importance of getting more resources for the country?
I've shared the idea with my colleagues, and I think most of them think that's the best way to go. Some people think it should be a little bit lower. Some people think it should be a bit higher. But that discussion will come when the committee start to look at the amendment in the law.
Great. Let me still remain on this theme and come to this. During your opening statement, during the opening of the Senate, you talk about face the facts and fix the system. Now, what system were you talking about when you said fix the system?
Well, you look at our economy and you see where we are. You look at the growth of the country. You have a population growth. You have small GDP growth. And if you look at it, you'll probably be netting zero growth. Okay. The laws that we have on the books are old, and we probably need to look at the law. Even the Constitution of Liberia needs to be looked at and maybe make some changes. We need a referendum because the law itself, the Constitution itself, there are a lot of things in the Constitution that um, doesn't apply today to today's generation. So we really need to look at uh, our system of governance and management of the state and make some adjustment. Every company does that. Every country does it, and Liberia is no exception.
Okay. Sometimes saying it is one thing, and the implementation sometimes takes a lot of time. Uh, are your colleagues also, working with you on this to have the system being fixed for the Liberian people?
Well, I think all of my colleagues are quite aware of the issues that our country is affected by and faced with, and all of them are trying to find their own way of addressing the problems that we are faced with. So you will not hear from any legislator that will say that all is well.
Mhm.
All of us are basically trying to find ways and means through which we can make the lives of the Liberian people better. And that is one thing I can say to you, Elton, that the legislature is really concerned about what is happening in Liberia today.
I don't want to keep you long because of your visit to Grand Bassa, but just quickly, let me squeeze this in. This is the opportunity to get most of these details. Where are we with the iron ore tailings?
Well, the tailings are still, we're still fighting to get it off. We will get it off. It's a tough one. When you have big companies saying no to 11 million tons of low grade iron ore, you have some issues. It's a tough one. It's really a tough thing for us to get off. There are a lot of issues around it, and we're still working to resolve those different issues around the tailings. But what I can assure you that we will get it off. Bassa will benefit from the tailings.
How soon do we expect this?
Well, look, even if we were to bring in a company today, it would take you 12 months before that company can move 1 kilo of iron ore. So we can't predict how soon, but we are working. We have been in conversation with a lot of different companies, including the steel Ford, including some Indians, some Chinese, even some Americans are interested. Um, so they have to perform certain duties to show us that they can lift the tailings. In the absence of that, it becomes a problem.
Is the caucus working together on this for the iron ore tilling? Because the last time there was this situation with the caucus where the pro tem said she was not in the know. Is she in the know of it now?
Well, the pro tem, I'm sure, we're coming to have our first meeting, and I'm sure the pro tem will be in the meeting. Um, the only way you will be in the know is that you have to attend the meetings. It's not something that one individual is doing. And I'm sure that going forward, everybody will be properly informed, and we have to attend the meetings that are required to get the necessary information.
People are really concerned about the startup process of it. Do we think in the next 1 year, 2 year, we expect this?
I can tell you, Elton, we're working exceptionally hard to get this issue done. Um, it's not an easy task. People think it's something that you go to the market, you put it down, and you pick it up. It's not as easy as that. I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's so easy to do, and they can do this and they can do that." But I can tell you there are big companies that we have approached, and I said, "Look, it's not worth our time. If you beneficiate it, it's 500,000 tons. I mean, half a billion, 5 million tons of iron ore. And when you have a company saying to you, eh, look, it's not worth my investment. And what is the investment? Is $60 million. $60 million is not an easy thing to come across. And so we're having some challenges with that. Yeah, everybody is coming and say, I can do it. But you need to show us and give us that comfort zone that you have the finances to do that. We don't want to give it to you. You got it. and then you keep it like everybody been doing for the last 20 years.
Okay. Senator, just quickly, this a few days there was a communication from members of the Legislative Caucus. You signed, and the Secretary, Ms. Honor Akse Bani, also did about the nurse anesthetic issue at the Liberian Government Hospital. Though one person is there, but that's not enough. Where is the caucus now on this? Did they meet the health minister, and what was the outcome?
Well, the health minister did not show up because of other obligations, but we are on the backs to make sure that situation is resolved. You know, the government hospital is the only referral hospital that we have in Bassa. When you're looking at the population of our county and the kind of sophistication and complex medical operations that are needed in the county without the proper technicians, it's a problem. And they have recognized that and they've said to us they are working on it. So we're still on the back to make sure that nurses that are required, specialized, that require specialization are assigned to the hospital.
Someone just brought us back. I want to know when will Liberia graduate from exporting goods, to producing their own goods, looking at building factories that will manufacture those things here. Are there any ideas of that?
Well, you see, the issue of smelter, we need a smelter if you want to say a smelter in Liberia. Uh, it's, it's, I think it's probably right around the corner. I think the central bank is looking at it. The Minister of Mines discussed that with me, that the issue of smelting, even the Investment Commission chairman have also discussed that. So there are some interest. Some companies have expressed interest in coming to Liberia to build a smelter for gold. So we wait to see how that will work out. It's not an easy task again. It requires a lot. So we hope that in the future we get it.
So, Senator, just two questions for close. One, there have been this concern about this nurse anesthetic. Is it possible that the county could use portion of the budget to train more nurse anesthetics from the county-owned social development fund?
I think yes, it's possible that we can do that. We're looking at that's part of the educational program. We have an education program. I think the county should be thinking concerned about how we can train the teachers of GBU because that's another issue that will be coming up soon. So you can train specialized people. I mean, personally, I have three students now that will be going to do medicine in Morocco. So yes, we can find ways and means to start to train our nurses that are basically from Bassa, living in Bassa, to be specialized, and so they can go back home and serve our people.
Finally, what prospects do you see for Bassa under President Joseph Boakai, and also where are we with GBCC bridge?
Well, the issue with President Boyka is the president. Uh, we know that Bassa, we're talking with the government on a free zone, economic free zone. We're talking about electricity generation in Bassa. We're talking about upgrading the ports. We're talking about renovating roads and building some bridges, repairing some bridges. On the line of the GBCC bridge, we've written the Minister of Public Works. That bridge is in the plan for this year. We hope that we'll see some movement on that bridge. I think that's part of the meeting we'll be discussing on Monday. We should have a caucus
We have
meeting.
2 months to end the year.
We're meeting the president on Monday also. The caucus is meeting the president on Monday, and that will be part of our discussion.
Okay, but there is 2 months,
Well,
to
look,
end the year. So that
yeah,
means
2 months. The bridge will not. Nobody construct a bridge in 2 months. It's difficult, especially the technical part of that bridge. This is something that's been going on for the last, I don't know how many years, 4, 5, 6 years or so. So we will definitely have that part of our agenda and part of our discussion with the President of the Republic of Liberia. So we're meeting him. We'll be meeting the president on Monday, the full caucus, and those will be part of the issues that we'll be raising with the president.
Are there prospects for Grand Bassa under this leadership?
Oh yeah, the president is not president for himself. He's president for the people. The people of Bassa play their role, and so development must come to Bassa. The issue there is that the caucus will have to take the lead to make sure that what we can get to Bassa, we get in Bassa in terms of improving the lives of our people and bringing the necessary relief to them.
What else you would like to say in closing?
Well, I can say to all of the people of Bassa land, just continue to pray for your leadership of the country so that we can continue to have the peace and tranquility that we enjoy so far. Continue to be critical of us, our work, so that we can do a better job. Because sometimes, we slack, but we listen to the concern of the citizens, and those who do it respectfully uh, will definitely catch our attention, and we will definitely make some adjustment to be able to accomplish what we need to accomplish for the people of Bassa.
Finally, sorry to bring this. Where are we in terms of the releasing of social development funds for implementation of projects?
Well, I think we've visited the Ministry of Finance. That should be done early next week. But I think the issue has been funds going into the consolidated account. So we need to make some changes in the amendment with concerning social development uh, funds from corporations to the counties. And it's not only Grand Bassa, it's also not even Bong, Nima, and Basso, but all the other counties that have concession agreement. So we are looking at a new way of being able to address these funds that are supposed to go directly to affect the lives of the people where these companies operate.
Okay, so far so good. Sorry, I'm closing, but again, there's this thing coming up on my phone. I gotta go to quick. Cigar workers. There are 9 people in jail. They've been in jail for like 3 days, and they'll be taken to court for protesting days ago. Have that gotten to you as a senator? Have you heard
No,
about
I'm
it?
just hearing about
And
it.
they've been in jail for 3 days. We're going to court today.
I'm just hearing about that.
Okay.
I don't know why they went to court. Um, I don't know about the protests, but we hope that it's something that will be managed. I will find out from the superintendent immediately after this interview.
Thank you so much, Naja.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, fellows.
And thanks to your audience.